other than lots of money, what's the real difference between professionals and amateurs? My name's Brian McIntosh. This is the Daily Dose. And I think the answer is a whole host of things, right? Professionals, number one, they get paid to do what they do, right? As opposed to amateurs, if we're talking in sports and that sort of thing. So if you're being paid to do something, then you can do it full time as an occupation. And so you can put more time and energy into it. Interestingly enough, though, how do you think you ever get to a place where people are going to pay you to do something if you haven't spent considerable time working up to it? And the answer is you can't. So if you look at professionals, whether it's professional sports players or, one of my favorite guys is Danny McCaskill. He invented trials riding, pretty much, freestyle trials riding on bicycles, and he's hands down the best in the world. And today he makes millions of dollars doing this. But before the world even knew what freestyle trials riding was, Danny didn't make squat. In fact, Danny got a lot of broken bones and bumps and bruises and crushed ribs and everything else trying to do all these unbelievable tricks that he can do on a bicycle. And nobody ever paid him to do that. Nobody ever gave him a red cent until he was so good that somebody said, that's amazing, we need to pay him to do that more, right? And so he became a professional, but he had to work up to that. See, it didn't happen automatically. And tonight, Monday Night Football is on, and the Redskins are playing, and the Seattle Seahawks are playing. And these guys on the field, man, they are professionals. Very highly paid professionals. And they put time and energy and effort and sweat and tears and blood and study and everything else into what they're doing. Now, the question is, do they do that because they're paid? Or are they being paid because they've always been willing to do that? And I think the answer is because they've always been willing to do that. You see, they had a passion and a vision. And they put the blood, sweat, and tears into it first. And then they became professionals. That's what you and I must do. See, I think one of the challenges and one of the reasons why so many folks are stuck in mediocrity when it comes to their incomes and their lifestyles is because they operate at an average level. But the world doesn't pay for mediocrity. The world doesn't pay for average. An average player doesn't make it in the NFL. The world pays for excellence. The world pays for mastery. And so if you become masterful at something, there's a good chance the world will pay you for it, and you can consider yourself a professional. So whatever it is you're trying to pursue, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's finances, whether it's your relationships, your spirituality, you've got to ask yourself, what level of performance would I have to produce for the world to truly pay me to do this? And there's a difference between a boss just giving you a paycheck, right, which almost any of us can do if we are fortunate enough to find a job. I'm talking about mastery. I'm talking about becoming a professional in something so that the world really pays you, right? It's one thing to be a middle manager. It's a whole other thing to be a CEO. I think we'd all agree with that, even in terms of salary and whatnot, right? So ask yourself, in whatever endeavor it is you're going after, what would a pro do in this situation? What would somebody have to do? What level of performance would they have to be at to be a professional? How would they have to prepare? How would they have to train? How would they have to think? How would they have to perform? And then begin doing that. Because until you exhibit the attitudes and perspectives and work ethic that a pro would exhibit, you'll never be paid like a professional. Whether it's in your job, finances, right? Even in your spirituality, you'll never get the rewards of spirituality unless you operated within that as a professional would. You'll never get the rewards from your marriage if you didn't operate inside of your marriage like a pro athlete would operate inside of their sport, with the attention and the attention that you need to pay it. So the question that I have for you in today's Daily Dose is, if we know that the world only pays for excellence and mastery, and that average will never get you professional results from anything, then knowing that, why would we ever choose average in anything? Shoot for excellence. Shoot for mastery. Do what a professional would do, and you'll begin to get professional results, rewards, and compensation from your efforts. That's the dope. Go make it a great week.